Hey guys, how's it going? So today I want to show you a gorgeous perennial in my garden. Just planted it last summer. This is called Firefly Peach Sky Achillea, or Yarrow is the common name. And it's got the most gorgeous colored blooms. So this is what the new blooms, well you can clearly see, this is brand new blooms right here. They age to like a peachy pink, and then when they start aging out further, you can see like down in here, more of a yellow. But they're glorious no matter what stage of bloom they're in. And this plant, like, it'll kind of send up its first flush of bloom, usually late spring, early summer, and they do push new blooms through the rest of the year, but they'll come out with this really strong first flush of blooms, and then at that point, after they start to fizzle, that first flush, you can cut the plant back by half to kind of encourage some fresh growth and fresh blooms. I don't do that though, because I find that the dried and spent blooms are equally as gorgeous on this particular variety as the fresh blooms, and I like to use them all, fresh and dried, in floral arrangements. There are only 6 plants in this little drift right here. So this variety grows about 3 feet tall, 28 to 32 inches at maturity. So in the end, this patch will be even bigger, but I feel like I have space to maybe even put like 3 more in here and kind of expand this drift. Right behind it, I've got a Winecraft black smoke bush. And this will grow I believe about 6 feet tall. So once it's creating this nice big dark backdrop, I think that the colors of these are so gorgeous together. I think it's gonna be a beautiful pair in my garden, and with the weeping willow texture, it's just a really pretty mix in this area. So these are a zone 3 through 8, incredibly winter hardy. They can handle crappy soil. I mean, they like it to be on the dry side. They don't like it to be super wet. They don't like super fertile soil. And in fact, if they're in too fertile of a spot, they'll tend to want to flop. So they'll grow up and they'll create so much growth so fast that they won't have enough strength. They won't have worried about as much strong growth, and they'll want to flop. So keep that in mind. Like, this is one that I didn't use fertilizer on. I don't fertilize this one on the regular. I just like it gets what it gets right here, and it does really well. Pollinators are attracted to it. It can handle our alkaline soil. It's just one of those things. You know, I grew up with the common variety of yarrow in our pastures, the type that blooms white and is kind of looked at as a weed because it spreads by rhizomes, and it can spread fairly aggressively if it's in good conditions, conditions that it likes. But these newer hybrids don't tend to do that. They're not bullies in the garden. They'll kind of clump out, and then they stay a little bit more within where you've put them, within their own space. So I don't have to worry about them running all over the place in this flower bed. And the very last thing is that they are resistant to deer and rabbits, which rabbits is something that is brand new to us having to think about. We're just noticing rabbits in our garden, which where there are 1 or 2, I know that there are a lot more. So that's something that we'll probably be thinking about a little bit more as we go forward. But anyway, I just thought you guys might like to see what this looks like, because honestly, when you see yarrow at the garden center, it tends to look a little meh. Like, it doesn't look like something glorious and amazing. And I wanted to just to show you the potential of this plant and what it can look like in your own space. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.